Welcome to the Daily Stoic Reflections, where we dive deep into the life-changing wisdom of Stoicism to help you lead a more meaningful and purposeful life. In today's video, we'll explore some of the most powerful advice from Stoic philosophers, specifically focusing on how to stop wasting your time and start focusing on yourself. This video is packed with valuable insights that can transform the way you approach life. Stick with us until the end to fully absorb these powerful principles that can reshape your mindset and guide you on the path to true personal growth. Don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more life-changing content. Time is precious. Time is one of the most precious commodities we have. We only have 24 hours in a day, and how we choose to spend those hours can shape the course of our lives. Every minute we spend either builds us up or pulls us away from the life we want to lead. Think about it: each day, we are given an opportunity to take action, make decisions, and shape our future. But here's the catch: we don't get that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Imagine waking up in the morning with a fresh start, yet instead of focusing on your own growth, you find yourself consumed by the worries and problems of those around you. Whether it's getting lost in the drama of social media, stressing over someone else's issues, or even feeling guilty about someone else's struggles, you end up spending your time on things that aren't yours to fix. This is time wasted. Let's take an example. You may have a friend or colleague who constantly comes to you with problems. Maybe they need emotional support or advice about something that's not really in your control. You want to be there for them, but after a while, it can feel draining. Instead of using that time to focus on your own development, you've lost precious moments that could have been invested in learning, growing, or pursuing your own goals. This is exactly where time slips away through distractions, worry, and the needs of others. Now, let's turn that around. Imagine if, instead of focusing on everyone else's problems, you chose to focus on your own growth. Instead of worrying about what others think, you start to dedicate time to improving your skills, setting personal goals, or simply reflecting on what you want to achieve in life. Even if it's just 30 minutes a day, imagine how much more you could accomplish by focusing on yourself. There's a powerful idea in Stoicism that reminds us, we cannot control everything around us, but we can control how we respond to it. The time you spend on others' problems is time you could be investing in yourself, in creating the life you desire. The more you focus on your own personal development, the more you begin to notice that the world around you starts to change as well, because, as you improve, you become more equipped to handle life's challenges and help others in a meaningful, constructive way. So, next time you find yourself getting caught up in other people's issues, remember, your time is a valuable resource. Invest it wisely. Focus on your personal growth, your goals, and your journey. In doing so, you'll not only improve yourself, but you'll be in a much better position to help others, not because you're distracted, but because you've built a solid foundation within yourself. To control your mind. One of the most powerful lessons we can learn from Stoic philosophy is the importance of controlling our own minds. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, often emphasized that while we can't control external events, we have full control over how we respond to them. This idea is crucial in understanding how to navigate the challenges of life. Imagine a situation where something goes wrong at work. Maybe a colleague undermines you, or a project doesn't go as planned. It's easy to feel frustrated, angry, or helpless, but Marcus Aurelius would remind us, these are external events, and while we can't control them, we can control how we react. The way you choose to respond to these situations is where your power lies. You can either react with anger, frustration, and stress, or you can step back, pause, and approach the situation with calm, logic, and self-reflection. Take, for example, a time when you've had an argument with someone. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to let your emotions take over and say things you don't mean. But imagine if, Instead of allowing your emotions to control you, you took a moment to breathe, calm your mind, and choose how you wanted to respond. When we take a step back and focus on our thoughts rather than the external situation, we are practicing the Stoic idea of mastering our mind. This doesn't mean ignoring our feelings or pretending that problems don't exist. On the contrary, it means acknowledging our feelings and then choosing how to react to them. By focusing on our own mind and not the things we cannot control, we are better able to make decisions based on reason and clarity, rather than letting our emotions dictate our actions. Another powerful example is when things in life don't go according to plan, whether it's a missed opportunity, a failure, or an unexpected change. The Stoics teach us that these things are beyond our control, but our response to them is not. We can choose to see them as setbacks, or we can choose to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of dwelling on the disappointment, we focus on how we can move forward with strength and resilience. In everyday life, the ability to control your mind is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. When you stop allowing external events to dictate your emotional state, you create space for clarity, focus, and peace of mind. So, the next time you feel yourself being swept away by anger, frustration, or fear, remember that you have the power to control how you respond. Focus on your own mind and not the uncontrollable world around you. In doing so, you'll find greater peace and strength to navigate the challenges life throws your way. 3. The danger of comparison. The danger of comparison is one of the most subtle yet destructive forces that can steal our time and energy. In today's world, where social media constantly feeds us curated images of other people's lives, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by someone else's achievements. The truth is, comparison is a thief of joy, and it can prevent you from focusing on what truly matters: your own growth. Think about how often you find yourself comparing your achievements to others. Maybe you see someone with a better job, a more successful business, or a seemingly perfect relationship, and you start feeling inadequate. You think, why can't I have what they have? Or what's wrong with me that I'm not as successful as they are? These thoughts only serve to distract you from your path and make you lose sight of your own potential. By focusing on others, you're diverting energy that could be spent on developing yourself, your skills, and your goals. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine a musician who's been practicing for years but constantly compares himself to more famous artists. Every time he hears a new song on the radio, he wonders why his music isn't as popular, or why he isn't as well known. This constant comparison drains him, leaving him frustrated and disheartened. Instead of focusing on improving his own craft and honing his unique sound, he's focused on what others have achieved. This only slows his progress and prevents him from fully appreciating how far he's come. The Stoic philosophers understood this concept deeply. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This powerful quote serves as a reminder that we shouldn't get caught up in comparing ourselves to others or trying to live up to society's standards. We each have our own unique path, and our only true measure of success should be our personal growth, not someone else's. Instead of wasting time comparing yourself to others, invest that energy in developing your own potential. Take time to reflect on what makes you unique and what you want to achieve. Focus on your journey, your strengths, and your personal goals. Progress doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen by mimicking someone else's success. It happens when you dedicate time to your own self-improvement. To make real progress, start setting goals based on your personal values and aspirations, not by looking over your shoulder at someone else's achievements. Think about Oprah Winfrey. When she started in television, she wasn't as famous as the other hosts, but instead of comparing herself to them, she honed her own style, focused on creating meaningful content, and slowly built the empire she has today. Oprah didn't focus on what others were doing, she focused on improving herself and staying true to her vision. The next time you catch yourself comparing your progress to others, pause and remind yourself that your journey is yours alone. The only person you need to measure yourself against is the version of you from yesterday. By investing your time and energy into your own growth, you'll move forward with purpose and confidence, and you'll soon realize that comparison is not only a waste of time but also a distraction from the amazing potential within you. 4. Self-awareness is key. Know yourself to grow. The journey of self-improvement begins with an honest understanding of who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, values, and desires. When you truly know yourself, you gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. For example, let's take the case of a young professional who is striving for success in their career. Through self-awareness, they recognize that while they excel in technical skills, they often struggle with public speaking. Instead of ignoring this weakness, they embrace it as an opportunity for growth. By acknowledging this challenge, they seek out opportunities to practice speaking in front of groups, gradually improving and building confidence. In doing so, they not only enhance their communication skills but also develop a greater sense of self-compassion, understanding that no one is perfect, and growth comes from embracing both strengths and weaknesses. On the other hand, self-awareness also allows us to identify our strengths and use them effectively. A person who recognizes their ability to connect with others emotionally, for example, can leverage the skill in leadership roles, creating a supportive and motivated environment for their team. When you know what you're good at, you're better equipped to pursue opportunities that align with your natural talents, fostering both personal and professional growth. Moreover, self-awareness is a powerful tool in fostering emotional intelligence. By understanding your own emotions and reactions, you can better regulate them in situations that might otherwise lead to stress or conflict. For instance, if you're aware that you tend to become anxious before important meetings, you can implement strategies like deep breathing or visualization techniques to stay calm and perform at your best. In essence, self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal growth. It empowers us to not only accept ourselves as we are but also to take active steps towards becoming the best versions of ourselves. Whether it's refining our weaknesses or maximizing our strengths, self-awareness provides the roadmap for continuous improvement and fulfillment. The more we know ourselves, the more we are capable of growing both personally and professionally. 5. Embrace progress over perfection. Embrace progress over perfection. Progress, not perfection, leads to peace and success. In a world that often places immense value on flawless achievements and unattainable standards, it's essential to remember that progress, no matter how small, is what truly propels us forward. Striving for perfection can be paralyzing, constantly measuring ourselves against an idealized version of who we think we should be, without ever feeling satisfied. However, focusing on progress allows us to celebrate every step we take, no matter how small, and encourages us to keep moving forward with a sense of accomplishment. For instance, consider someone who is trying to get fit. Rather than focusing on achieving the perfect body, they set small, manageable goals like exercising for 20 minutes a day or making healthier food choices. Over time, these small steps add up to real, lasting change. The key is not expecting overnight perfection but celebrating each little improvement along the way. With each day, they grow stronger and more confident, proving that progress, not perfection, is the real measure of success. This mindset shift is also invaluable in our personal and professional lives. If you're learning a new skill, like playing an instrument or picking up a new language, progress is what will sustain you. It's easy to become discouraged when comparing yourself to others who seem to have mastered it already. But when you focus on small, achievable milestones like learning a new song or practicing for 10 minutes each day, you begin to see progress in a meaningful way. With this mindset, you allow yourself room to make mistakes, which are often the stepping stones to growth and improvement. Moreover, embracing progress over perfection brings a sense of peace. The pressure to be perfect can be exhausting and even demotivating. But when you shift your focus to progress, You stop obsessing over the end goal and start enjoying the journey. It's about appreciating the efforts you make, not just the final outcome. This approach also reduces stress and anxiety, as you are no longer held captive by the fear of making mistakes. At work, embracing progress means celebrating small wins, like completing a task, mastering a new project, or gaining a new skill. These smaller achievements are often more meaningful and rewarding than a constant pursuit of perfection. It's important to recognize that perfection is an illusion. There's always room for improvement, and that's okay. Success is not about perfection, but about the steady, consistent progress we make each day. In conclusion, embracing progress over perfection opens the door to greater peace, satisfaction, and success. By focusing on small, achievable goals, we give ourselves the permission to grow, learn, and evolve without the unrealistic pressure of perfection. This mindset shift not only brings peace of mind but also leads to real, meaningful success in all aspects of life. 6. Manage your time effectively. Time management is about quality, not quantity. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of constant notifications, meetings, and endless to-do lists. However, the true essence of time management lies in focusing on what truly matters, rather than simply filling every moment with activity. It's not about how many hours you spend working or how busy you are, it's about making those hours count and prioritizing meaningful activities that align with your goals. For example, imagine you're trying to finish a major project at work or school. Rather than spending hours on social media or getting sidetracked by minor tasks, you decide to block out time for focused work. By setting clear boundaries such as turning off notifications, limiting social media usage, or designating specific hours for tasks, you give yourself the mental space to dive deep into your work without constant distractions. As a result, you find yourself more productive and more engaged in the task at hand, achieving greater progress in less time. Time management is also about learning to say no to distractions that don't align with your priorities. Social media, while entertaining, can often serve as a time sink, pulling you away from more important endeavors. Instead of scrolling endlessly, you could set aside specific times during the day to check in, ensuring it doesn't derail your productivity. By setting boundaries, you regain control of your time and energy, ensuring that your efforts are spent on things that truly move you forward. Prioritization is a key aspect of effective time management. It's important to recognize that not everything on your to-do list requires immediate attention. Some tasks are urgent, while others are important but not time-sensitive. Start each day by identifying the most crucial activities that will bring you closer to your long-term goals. Focus on completing these high-priority tasks first, leaving less critical ones for later. This method of prioritization ensures that you're investing your time where it matters most, rather than getting bogged down in less significant tasks. Moreover, managing your time effectively means being mindful of the quality of the activities you choose. You could spend hours working on a task, but if you're not fully engaged or if the task doesn't align with your values or goals, it won't be as fulfilling or productive as you'd like. Instead, when you approach your day with intention, making conscious decisions about how to spend your time, you create opportunities for deeper focus and greater satisfaction. Whether it's dedicating time to self-care, pursuing hobbies, or cultivating relationships, quality time spent on meaningful activities enhances both personal well-being and long-term success. In conclusion, time management is not about cramming as much as possible into your day. It's about making deliberate choices to invest your time in what matters most, whether that's focused work, nurturing relationships, or self-improvement. By setting boundaries, prioritizing your tasks, and eliminating distractions like social media, you can manage your time more effectively, leading to a more productive, fulfilling, and balanced life. Quality, not quantity, is the key to mastering time management and achieving your goals. 7. Stay patient and focus on the journey. Growth takes time. In a world that often emphasizes instant gratification and rapid results, it's easy to feel frustrated when progress seems slow. However, true growth is a gradual process that requires patience, persistence, and resilience. Rather than rushing to the finish line or comparing your progress to others, focusing on your own journey allows you to embrace the lessons, setbacks, and small victories along the way. For example, consider someone who is learning a new skill, like playing the guitar. At first, the chords might sound awkward, and their fingers may stumble over the strings. It's tempting to compare oneself to seasoned musicians who make it look effortless, but the key is to embrace the process. By staying patient and practicing regularly, over time, the fingers grow stronger, the chords sound smoother, and the confidence builds. The transformation doesn't happen overnight, but through steady practice and the patience to keep going, progress becomes evident. Patience allows us to avoid rushing toward an idealized version of success. When you focus on the journey rather than a distant outcome, you can appreciate the smaller milestones that build up to big changes. Each challenge you face teaches you something valuable, whether it's about the skill you're developing or your own inner strength. These lessons would be missed if you were only fixated on how far you still have to go. Resilience plays an important role in staying patient. It's about learning to navigate obstacles without losing motivation. Life will throw setbacks your way, whether it's an unexpected failure, a mistake, or a tough situation that disrupts your plans. However, embracing resilience means that instead of giving up, you find ways to adapt and move forward, often stronger than before. For instance, a person working on a long-term project may face moments of self-doubt, or perhaps something unexpected causes delays. But by practicing resilience, they don't quit, they learn from the experience, adapt their approach, and keep moving forward. One of the most important aspects of patience and focusing on your journey is not comparing yourself to others. It's easy to look at someone else's success and feel like you're falling behind. But the truth is, everyone's path is different, and each individual faces unique challenges. By focusing on your own progress and trusting the timeline of your journey, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure and self-criticism. In relationships, work, or personal development, there will always be moments where the path forward feels uncertain. Yet, it's in these moments that patience and resilience shine. When you embrace the idea that growth is a marathon, not a sprint, you begin to let go of the need to measure yourself against others. Instead, you start measuring your progress by your own standards, allowing yourself to celebrate each step forward, no matter how small. In conclusion, growth takes time, and it's essential to stay patient and focus on the journey. Embrace resilience when obstacles arise, and resist the urge to compare your progress to others. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. When you focus on the journey, you begin to understand that the path itself is just as important as the destination. Trust in the process, stay committed, and with time, you'll find yourself achieving more than you ever imagined. And there you have it, the profound Stoic principles that can help you take control of your time, avoid distractions, and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, the journey toward personal growth is not about perfection but about making steady progress, one step at a time. Now, I want to hear from you. How are you planning to use your time more wisely? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts with us. If you found this video valuable, give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Stoic Reflections for more wisdom that can truly change your life. Stay focused, stay patient, and keep growing. See you in the next video.